Okay, sir, thank you. Oh, lovely. We're gonna have two cats joining us for yoga today, apparently. We're gonna start seated. You can start with your hands on your knees, legs crossed in front of you. Maybe close your eyes or gently lower your gaze. If you're worried you may fall asleep. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. If you'd like to take a moment to set an intention for your practice, maybe just giving yourself a little bit of loving care today. Seal it with an inhale and an exhale. Gently fluttering your eyes open. We're going to start with a few seated cat-cows today. So hands on the knees, inhale, pulling the chest forward. And exhale, rounding the back. Inhale, forward. And exhale, dropping the chin. Taking a few more at your own pace. Just gently waking up the hips, the spine, the neck. Maybe starting to rotate your torso in a nice big circle to get into those cat-cow positions. Feeling free to take this as slow or as quickly as you would like. Maybe stopping in any places that feel like they need a little bit of breath. Switching directions. When you're ready, gently finding your way to neutral position. Let's take a nice little seated twist here. Inhale, our hands high. And exhale, rotate to the right. Left hand comes to the right knee. Gentle twist of the spine. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to release. One more breath here. Inhale, hands come back up high, coming to center. And exhale, release, twisting to the left. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, releasing. Inhaling back to center. Maybe taking a couple shoulder rolls. Maybe a few gentle neck stretches. We'll just spend another 3 or 4 breaths here, taking any other movements that you need. When you're ready, we're going to make our way to tabletop. bringing our wrists directly below our shoulders, our knees directly below our hips. We're going to follow some of the same movements we just did while seated, starting with cat-cow. Inhale, looking up, dropping the belly. Exhale, pushing through the palms, rounding the spine. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, rounding the back. This will give you just a little bit deeper movement through that cat-cow. And taking any other movement here that feels good. Maybe some waves along the spine. Maybe some bends side to side feel nice. Just exploring. Starting to create a little bit of warmth in the body. Coming back to neutral, let's come up onto our toes, and we're just going to inhale, hover those knees just above the ground, warming up the body, engaging the abs, really pushing through those palms. One more breath here. On the next exhale, lifting those hips high, coming into our first downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet. Taking any movement here that feels good. Maybe trying to take some of those same wave motions that you took in tabletop in your down dog. We're going to gently make our way to the front of the mat, just taking some nice easy steps. Starting hips width apart, feet are hips width apart. Let's just grab onto our elbows. We're just going to hang and take our first standing forward fold. One more breath here. Letting our hands release. Just going to inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, bending the knees, slowly rolling up to standing. Inhaling, hands high. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's inhale our hands high. And exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Step back with the right foot into a low lunge. We can drop that knee to the mat. It's okay if your knees are okay. They can come out over your toes a bit. If you have any knee issues, you can walk that left foot forward a little bit. We're just going to take a breath here in our first low lunge. You can either leave your hands on the mat or come up onto your knee if it feels okay. Really nice. Release through that right hip. On the next exhale, bringing the hands back to the mat, coming up onto the toes, stepping that left foot back for a downward facing dog. Let's take a couple breaths here. Inhale, right leg lifts, stepping it forward, dropping that left knee to the mat, coming into a low lunge on the other side. Again, you can keep your hands on the mat if it feels okay. Maybe rising up. Apologize for the extra noise. Duke always decides it's time to eat during yoga, and he pushes his food bowl around the kitchen. And exhale, releasing our hands to the mat, coming up onto our toes. We're just going to take a nice big step forward. And let's take a few more breaths in our second standing forward fold. Maybe it feels good to take your peace fingers and grabbing the big toes. You can inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, release forward. You can use those biceps a little bit to give you a little bit of a deeper stretch if you'd like. If you have any tightness in the lower back, maybe giving yourself a nice bend in the knees here, that'll help to loosen that area a little bit. Maybe a little bit of sway from side to side will help too. Releasing the toes. Inhale, bringing hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bending the knees, rolling up to standing. Hands come high. And exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, hands high. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Stepping back with the right foot. You can either drop the knee again, or you can stay up on the knee, or up on the foot, up to you. I'm going to drop my knee, because it's a nice chill practice today. And just coming up into your lunge. Maybe on the exhale, sinking just a little bit deeper. On the next exhale, releasing the hands back to the mat, coming up onto the toes. Step back with the left foot, coming into downward facing dog. We'll take 3 breaths here. Make sure to release any tension in the neck. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it forward for our lunge. Either dropping the knee or leaving it high, whatever you did on the other side. Inhale, coming up into your lunge. Take 3 breaths here. On the next exhale, bringing the hands back to the mat, coming up onto the toes of the left foot, and stepping it forward. Let's inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up to standing, hands come high, and exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to transition into a standing pose, and I'm going to turn to face the mat so that you guys can see me. We're gonna do eagle arms and eagle legs, and I think this is a nice hip opener and also also a good way to open up the shoulders and the back a little bit. So maybe taking a breath here first to really root through the earth. Feeling the left foot root through the earth. We're going to pick up our right foot and we're going to just cross it over the left. Now, if you're not feeling super flexible today, you can even put your toes on the earth here, and that's completely fine to stay here. We're eventually going to sit back a little bit, and maybe eventually your right foot will wrap around the left foot. If you, like I said, if you can't make it here, totally fine. You can keep that toe on the mat. Once we feel some stabilization here, and it actually will help, we're going to bring our right arm underneath our left, coming into eagle arms. I realize the camera might not show you very well. And want to think about really pushing those two palms together. That's really going to help give you some stabilization, and then squeezing in the legs into the center line. See if you can bring those elbows high up to where your shoulders are, so we're not hunched over. Beautiful yogis. And when we're ready, just unfurling the arms, standing up, unfurling the legs, and shaking it out a little bit. Taking a few breaths here to root through the right foot. A nice inhale and exhale, rooting through the earth. We're going to take that left foot up, cross it over the right. Again, we're going to sit down just a little bit, and those toes can stay on the mat. If this is your first time trying this pose, or you're just feeling a bit tired today, stay right here. That's totally fine. If you can, or if you'd like to try, you can wrap that left foot all the way around. And then for this one, we're going to take our left arm underneath our right, pushing through the palms, bringing those elbows high up to the shoulders. Get a nice shoulder stretch. Beautiful. Beautiful. Eagle arms and eagle legs. Whew. And when you're ready, exhaling, coming out of the pose, maybe more gracefully than me. Let's do one more standing pose. Since we just did a lot of twisting, maybe we'll do something to open us up a little bit. I like tree pose for that, so why don't we take a breath and root through the earth on our left foot. So a nice inhale here, and exhale, rooting through the left foot. We're going to bring our right foot up, maybe to the calf, maybe to the thigh, whatever's working for you today. Hands, palms together, heart center. And then I like tree pose because I like opening up, kind of the opposite of what we just did. You're bringing your hands nice and wide. Nice deep inhale and exhale. Again, you can think about really pushing that knee back, really opening up through the front of the hips. Again, kind of the opposite of what we just did. And gently bringing your hands back to heart center, dropping that right foot to the mat. Taking a breath here to transition to the other side. Nice inhale and exhale, rooting through the right foot. Bringing that left foot off the mat, maybe to the calf, maybe to the thigh. When you're ready, growing your branches out wide. Again, thinking about opening up, really opening up through the hips. Such beautiful trees. When you're ready, bring your hands back to heart center, taking that left foot off the right, gently setting it back down. Very nice, yogis. I'm going to make my way back to the top of my mat. We're going to take a nice inhale here and exhale. Let's take one more inhale here. That felt good. Inhale and exhale. Next inhale, we're going to take a big step back with the right foot, coming into our high lunge. We're inhaling here and exhale, opening the arms wide for cactus. Let's inhale, hands high, and exhale for cactus. Next inhale, hands come high, and exhale, we're gonna bring our hands to the mat, and then inhale, our left hand rises for twisted lunge. Let's take one more breath here. On the next exhale, releasing that hand to the mat, we're just going to walk ourselves around to the middle and take a nice forward fold. Maybe you want to take the hands back in line with the feet. You can use your hands to gently help pull you a little bit closer to the floor. You might want a little micro bend in the knees here. Let's inhale, bringing our hands about 6 inches out in front of our feet. Just inhale, kind of doing a halfway lift with our hands on the floor. And exhale, we're going to walk our hands around to the back of the mat so that we come into our low lunge and we're facing the back of the mat. Left hand comes to the ground. Inhale, we lift our right arm high for twisted lunge. One more breath here. And we're going to release that hand back to the mat. On our next inhale, coming up into our high lunge. And exhale, cactus. Inhale for high lunge. Exhale, cactus. Maybe giving yourself just a little mini back bend here, opening the chest. Inhaling here, and exhale, big step forward. Feet together at the front of the mat, you're facing the back of your mat. In Tadasana, mountain pose. Nice, strong standing pose. Beautiful. Let's take an inhale here together. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, stepping our right leg back to our high lunge. Exhale for cactus. Inhale, hands up. And exhale, cactus. Inhale, hands up. This time, exhale, bringing your hands to the mat. The right hand stays on the mat, left hand lifts up high for twisted lunge. One more breath here. On the next exhale, releasing that left hand to the mat, we're going to walk ourselves to the middle of the mat, feet rotate so they're facing forward. If you want, there's a couple of arm variations you can do. You can either put your hands how they were in front of you last time. You can take your hands to your hips. Or if you want a bit more of a shoulder stretch, you can clasp your hands behind your back And then let your hands drop overhead. It's a really nice shoulder opener, just letting them hang. One more breath here. If you have your hands clasped, gently bringing them back to the lower back and releasing the grip. Bringing those hands to the floor. Just going to inhale, halfway lift. And on our exhale, walking our hands around to the front, feet rotate to face the front into our lunge. Left hand is on the mat. Inhale, right hand lifts, twisted lunge. One more breath here. Releasing that, hand to the mat. On our next inhale, lifting up into high lunge. And exhale, release for cactus. Inhale up. And exhale, maybe a nice little mini back bend. Exhale, releasing. Inhaling up. This time, exhale, stepping it forward, big step forward with the left foot to meet the right. Into our mountain pose, facing the front of the mat. Beautiful, yogis. We're going to move through that flow one more time, but we're going to move with the breath. We'll pause and hold a couple of the poses. So inhale, stepping the right foot back for high lunge. And exhale, mini back bend with cactus arms. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale up. And exhale, hands come to the mat. Right hand is on the mat, left hand lifts for twisted lunge. Gaze is up at the left hand. One more breath here. On the next exhale, releasing that left hand to the mat. We're going to walk our hands over to the middle. Coming into our third wide leg forward fold. You can take either of the variations we've already done, or find something else that feels good. If it feels good to take a little bit of motion in this one, you can bend your knees and sway a little bit. We'll spend 3 more breaths here. Inhale, bringing your hands out in front of you. We're going to halfway lift. Exhale, walking our hands back to the back of the mat. Feet rotate, also pointing to the back of the mat. Leaving that left hand on the mat. We're going to inhale up for a twisted lunge. One more breath here. Bringing that hand back to the mat. We're going to inhale up for high lunge and exhale cactus. Inhale up, exhale cactus. Inhale up. This time, left foot meets the right, big step forward, coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's take a breath together here. A nice big inhale. And sigh it out, exhale. Inhale, big step back with the right foot, coming into high lunge. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, hands up. This time, exhale, bringing the hands to the mat. Right hand is on the mat, left hand reaches high to the sky for a twisted lunge. One more breath here. And exhale, releasing that hand back to the mat. Walking our hands over to the middle for our final wide leg forward fold. You can take any of the versions we've taken in class already today. Maybe if you're looking for more shoulder openers, maybe taking another clasp of the hands. My shoulders felt pretty tight, so that's what I'm gonna do. But taking any version we've done, or again, finding something that feels good. We'll spend 2 more breaths here. If you have a clasp in your hand, just gently bringing your hands back to your lower back and then releasing those hands to the ground. We're going to inhale here, halfway lift. Exhale, walking it around back to the front of your mat, feet point forward, left hand is on the mat. Inhale that right hand high for a twisted high lunge. One more breath here. Bringing that hand back to the mat on our inhale, coming up for high lunge, and exhale, cactus. Inhale, up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, up. This time, exhale, stepping it forward with control. Left foot meets the right for Tadasana. Great job, yogis. We're going to flow through a vinyasa so that we can make our way to seated and move into some nice long stretching. So inhale, hands high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the mat, stepping it back for downward facing dog. We'll just spend 3 breaths here, taking any final movements in your downward dog that feel good for your practice. On the inhale, raising our right foot high. Exhale, bringing that knee to the right wrist, setting our shins down, and then just coming into pigeon pose. Maybe doing a quick check over that left shoulder, making sure that that left leg is long, straight behind you. Let's take a breath, maybe coming up onto the fingertips, really extending long through the left hip. And exhale, sinking forward. We'll take 5 breaths here in pigeon. Inhale, gently pushing yourself up to seated. We're going to set down on that right hip. Bring that left foot around. I'm going to turn to face you guys. First thing we're going to do is just bring that left foot to the mat here on the other side of your right leg and sit up nice and tall. And then we're just going to exhale, hug that left knee, and give ourselves a nice little twist. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to release. Inhale, coming back to center. We're gonna take this right foot, and if it feels okay, we're just gonna bring that foot around a little bit. You might have to adjust your legs slightly. Coming into cow face pose. This can be quite an intense stretch if your hips are very tight, so feel free if you need to stack any blocks anywhere to make yourself a little bit more comfortable. We're going to inhale here, and then we're just going to take our right arm over our head, give ourselves a nice little tricep stretch. Maybe if you're really flexible, you can connect your hands. I cannot, but I still get a nice stretch and a nice opening through the chest, even though my hands aren't touching. Nice way to open the shoulders while we open our hips. One more breath here. Releasing our hands, shaking out the shoulders. We're just gonna roll over and pop our feet back into our downward facing dog. I will attempt to demonstrate. So just coming over onto your knees, sending our feet backwards into downward dog, just so we can transition to pigeon on the other side. Final breath in downward facing dog. Take a breath together. Inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, our left leg lifts. Exhale, bringing our left knee to the left wrist, setting it down for pigeon. Again, maybe taking a glance over that shoulder, making sure that leg is out long behind you. Maybe taking an inhale on fingertips to get a nice stretch through the hip flexor. And exhale, releasing into pigeon, getting comfortable. We'll take 5 breaths here. Inhale, gently rising up. Setting yourself over onto your left hip, bringing that right foot around in front. I am going to, again, turn to face you. So the sole of the right foot is on the mat for this first stretch. Inhale, tall. Exhale, hugging that right knee and twisting to the right. One more breath here. Inhale, coming back to center. We're gonna take that right foot this time now and pull it back around so that we're in cow face pose on the other side. And then we're just going to inhale our left arm overhead this time for a nice little tricep stretch on the left. You can either continue to help your hand, or if you want to attempt the bind, maybe your fingers don't touch. It's still a nice stretch. Let's take one more breath together here. And releasing the arms, releasing the legs. We're going to maybe take one little boat pose before we settle onto our backs. If you are not into any more work for the practice, that's totally fine. Just make your way down to your back. We'll meet you there in a minute. If you're with me in boat pose, bringing those feet off the ground, hands off the legs if you can, making sure our chest is proud, shoulders are not hunching in. If you're going well here, maybe try to straighten the legs. One more breath here. And exhale, releasing to the mat. Great job, yogis. Just going to take a couple of back bends to close out our practice. Although we've been doing some stretching, it's always nice to close practice with some back bends. It still gives you some nice stretches through the front side of the body, and the engagement you get in the back is really important for that kind of counter stability in a lot of our yoga. If you want to take it easy today, you can just follow along with some inhales and exhales, rolling along the spine. No need to hold your bridges. We're going to bring our heels right into our hips, so the backs of our fingers are just brushing the backs of the heels. And then inhale, just gently bringing those hips off the ground. And exhale, rolling it back down. Inhale, rolling up along the spine. Exhale, releasing. Nice little massage too. Inhale, rolling up. And exhale, releasing. If you'd like to hold one with me, we're going to inhale up. Coming up onto the shoulders, maybe clasping the hands. So you can really push through the feet, push through the legs. Hold for 2 more breaths. Releasing those hands, gently rolling it back down. We're going to take that one more time. Inhale, rolling up. Coming up onto the shoulders, really pushing through those feet so we can really open up through the chest. Two more breaths here. Releasing the hands, releasing the shoulders, rolling it back down. Great job, you made it. Let's take a breath here, give the spine a moment to neutralize. Let's finish class today with a nice little supine twist. We did some hip openers, so if your hips are feeling pretty open, you could cross your right leg over your left, and then just let your legs fall to the left. I find this is a little bit more intense of a stretch, but sometimes feels good if you're already pretty open in the hips. Slowing down the breath, using your exhales to just release any tension, any effort left in the body. Just let it go. Inhale, engaging those abs, bringing those knees back to center. We're going to cross the left leg over the right this time, and then just drop our knees over to the right side. If this is too intense for you, you can always just skip the cross of the legs and just drop your legs to the side. Inhale and exhale, release. Inhale, bringing our knees back to center. Taking any final movements here that you need to close out your practice. Or if you're done, taking the legs long, enjoying Savasana. Taking the feet to the edges of the mat. Hands are open to the sides. Maybe tuck those shoulder blades underneath. Finding any movements you need to just really settle into the mat. Closing the eyes. Releasing the brow. Releasing the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Loosening the jaw. Relaxing the throat. Releasing the shoulders. Releasing the arms. Feeling the backs of your hands just sink into the earth. Slowing the breath. Letting the rib cage settle. Letting your hips release. Releasing any tension left in the legs. Letting the feet release open. Letting your whole body melt into the earth. Choosing to end your practice here, staying in Shavasana for as long as you'd like, or gently starting to wiggle your fingers and toes, waking up your wrists, your ankles, Maybe doing a nice, big, full body stretch. And rolling over to one side. Taking a breath here. Inhale gently, pushing yourself up to seated. Bring our hands together in Anjali Mudra at heart center. And coming back to any intention you set for the practice, either giving yourself some gratitude, taking that intention with you off the mat, or letting it go if it served its purpose. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. We raise our thumbs to third eye, bow and say, Namaste. Namaste, yogis. Thank you for practicing with me today.